Collective, it's July 3rd, 2025, and we're going to do a Zodiac specific reading today. So for today, I'm going to be pulling 2 cards, okay, per sign. And essentially the first card will be for the current challenge, okay? And the second card will simply be advice. But moving forward, I've been recording all the zodiacs in one reading, but I'd like to make it a little bit more personal, and so what I'll do is I'll break it down. Each week I'll do elemental specific readings. So week 1 will be fire signs, week 2 water, week 3 air, and week 4 earth. And then in each specific reading, I'll break down by sign. But that way, they're a little bit more longer and personalized because, when I am doing all in one reading, I just, good messages. All right, interesting. The Hierophant right next to the Tower. So there may be a decision here. You can see how the cards landed. I'm also the Death with the Ace of Pentacles. All right, so, pre-messages. 3 major arcana right off the bat. But with the Hierophant here, guys, this is a call to, let's start with major arcana number 5. 5 in numerology can speak to a challenge, a conflict. It can also speak to change, adaptation, and learning, okay? But either something has just hit the fan or something's about to hit the fan that you're unaware of. And I don't know if this has something to do with an offer that you're being presented or was presented to you. I'm also seeing a lot of 2s, the 2 cats in this card, the 2 crows here. So I do get that this is some type of connection, right, where there's should be a give and take or reciprocity of some sort. But there's going to be a call here, something, again, with the Hierophant, something to do really with morals or even unity. So it's going to speak differently to everyone. The Tower, however, again, not sure if this has happened or if you're almost anticipating its arrival, trying to almost keep out of the way of getting sucked up from the vacuum. I essentially, I feel like is there's whatever this Tower moment is to you, whatever, because it's the Tower moment is unexpected, okay? We don't know when lightning's going to strike, so. But I feel like over here with one eye closed, it's almost, again, as if you almost have an inkling feeling like something's, again, about to hit, shit's about to hit the fan. But take it as it resonates. I feel like, again, because this is going to call for, this Tower moment is going to call for you to adapt and to change or to transform, very importantly, with the Death. But look how, because the Hierophant, then I saw the Tower, then I saw Death. But you can see how the second set of cards that came out, just look at the color. We're high vibing over here now, and I almost feel like source or the universe is the hand. And I love, if you listen to Abraham, you will oftentimes Abraham will say essentially come this way, like, you know, but come over this way. So with the Death card, you can see that sun in the background. Here in the curtains, there's stars. So it's very, to me, just very indicative of a brighter future ahead. You know, hope and positivity should really be through the roof. But there's something, again, here, some type of challenge or conflict that you're going to either need to change or adapt to or learn from, you know, whatever the situation is. And I mean, you know, let's get into the reading, guys. But bottom of the deck, there was the Chariot. So, you know, the collective, we're a determined people, right? And we want to progress, and we want to move and, you know, be with the flow, you know what I mean? Let go of the oars. So just think about what that means to you. Like, what does, like, surrendering to source mean? I'll post a video soon. I had another channel initially. Really quickly, there's that Death at the bottom. So I had to, Major Arcana number 13. This is all about transformation, change, and new beginnings. And the Hierophant was right at the top. That's so crazy. The Strength was there. So you're gonna need to almost, I feel like you're gonna need to tap into that inner strength that you have yet to tap into. Or maybe you have in the past, but it's like, it's time to kind of open it back up. And then with this deck, it often says, or the card says that something about house cats can also roar. Roar, it's a very hard word to say, like horror. I'm a big horror movie fan. And a lot of the time, or not a lot of the times, but often when I'm telling people, or people ask me what kind of movies I like, I have been told that it sounds like I'm saying horror. But like I think I'm saying horror, but you know, whatever. Alright, everyone. So if I did not mention, it's July 3rd. I will be heading over to my cousin's early tomorrow morning, and then I'm gonna head out with her and her husband and Linda, and we're all gonna head over to my uncle's house, her dad's house. Do you guys see that? That's the Death card again. So it's like you need to get out of your own way almost. Get out of the way of your transformation so that you can transform. Because there's like the universe behind you. Like the sun's coming up, baby. You know what I mean? It's time to get out of the way and let it happen. That's awesome. Okay. Kept coming out for a reason. It was like, you need to get out of your own way, guys. Collective. It's time, you know, it's literally, I'm like, I was about to say, it's already July 1st. No, it's July 3rd. Happy 4th for those of you that are, you know, just chilling tomorrow. Doing something celebratory, which is me going to my uncle's lake house. And we don't often, like, always get together for the 4th, but this will be nice, and this will actually, low-key really why I'm going. No. My family is really cool, but is to get out in nature and ground, because I am super homebody. I mean, truly super homebody. And so yes, this will allow me to just be able to relax and like put my foot on the grass. I'm not gonna get in the water though. I don't like the lake water. For me, it has to be like clear blue crystal. Like I gotta see what's going on down there. All right, everyone. So as I said, 2 cards per zodiac, and then And then I'll restructure differently for August. Okay. Okay. Cat Tarot deck. The Emperor in the reverse. So that's okay, but it is. It's like you have, I want to say it's almost like you have powers that I don't think you're quite aware of yet. Like you may think you know, but it's really just a call here. Major Arcana number 4. And 4 speaks to stability, structure, order. So it's like reclaiming, or ordering the energies. Okay, alchemizing the energies. So if that sounds like news to you, I assure you it's within us all. Look it up, if it so resonates with you. But this is a very powerful card. This also, the Emperor to me, it's about order, power, boundaries, but this is my card of vibrations and raising your vibration. So again, as I said earlier, with kindness, it's like maybe you think you know, but there's still so much more to know, because once you start tapping into the power of all 4 kings, which the Emperor contains, you're gonna pop that baby off your neck. You know what I mean? It's like that other, 95% of our brains, I want to look that up real quick if you guys are good with it. The claim, oh, it's a myth. Okay. All right, well then scratch that. That whole thing about we don't know what 95% of our brain is actually doing. Yeah, okay. All right, well I learned something new today. But something down here about the brain uses approximately 20% of the body's energy. That's insane. Even though it makes up much less than 20% of the total body mass. All right, everyone. So let's get into it. Welcome. We're going to start with, I need to go back to my Zodiac list, Aries. Welcome, Aries. So you have 1 major arcana here, the Sun, along with the Page of Wands. The Sun is coming in as major arcana number 19. Just making sure I'm correct in that. I feel like perhaps you feel like you've taken a step back, or that you're in a period where, or in some way you're not recovering quite how you would like to be recovering. But something's got you worried here. Really look at that Page of Wands expression. And it has something to do with a message. So I don't know, the first thing I'm getting is, are you somehow relying too much on external, something on the external, in order to move forward with growth and recovery? And I hope that, that should resonate with some of you. It's almost like, I don't know, it's like, do you need someone's approval, question mark, for something? Or, I don't know, is this like a job offer or some type of thing that you want, that you're waiting on, but you feel like it has to be this thing, or else you can't get it any other way, perhaps. But that certainly can never be the case, and I hope that makes sense. Now, in my head really quickly, I was like, Sun card major arcana number 17, but it's actually 19. But 17 is the star, and so, which speaks of hope and guidance, and so that had to have happened for a reason. That's why I'm telling you. The thought that just went through my head, because guys, you are being guided here, you know what I mean? And there is a lot of hope, but it's like you're too caught up or worried, or however it resonates to you, right? That so the challenge here is this message itself, whether it's a message that you want to send out, or a message that you expect to be headed your way. And maybe this message essentially is what's going to decide whether you're going to be able to be happy or not. But the fact that this is coming in as your advice card, and I may not have clarified, guys, if I did not, my apologies. I am pulling 2 cards per zodiac. The first one is the challenge, just whatever that challenge is, if there's a challenge, and the second card is advice. So I feel like depending on this communication, whatever this communication is, will almost decide your fate. But in reality, that's not. That's not setting yourself up for success, essentially. No, it's like almost like you should always be one step ahead. Plan for all the possibilities, and that whatever possibility does happen, that you're going to make the best of that possibility. And I do want to say that you can see that the cat is laying. Well, I was... Oh, that's actually cute. Okay, a couple things here. First of all, my cousin that I'm going to go see tomorrow morning, we're going to and hang out with for the weekend. She actually has a huge sunflower tattoo, like on her thigh, maybe several, I don't remember, but they're quite massive. And so I didn't realize that at first. What I was going to say is notice how the cat is laying on some grass here, okay? So with it in the reverse, and I was talking to this in the pre-messages, is, I'm really excited to get out to the lake house, really so I can low-key get some grounding in nature time, because I really just stay in my apartment. I work from home. I do now have an additional job that I entertain twice a week that I do leave the house for, but even then it's not like I'm out grounding. I'm in the kitchen. So so anyway, with all that being said, I just got a message there. Sorry, very long-winded message there, but no, seriously, that I think you guys could also do to kind of get out either in the sun or amongst some flowers. Maybe plant some flowers, or buy some, bring some in your home and plant them. So, message for you from the Cat Tarot deck. The reverse sun reminds us that the lonely lion, or excuse me, the reverse sun reminds the lonely lion to reach out to others. Pride means others. Go find yours. Okay? And I will leave you with that. Aries, be well. Happy 4th. All right, we are moving on to Taurus. Welcome, Taurus. I hope everyone is gonna have, some good celebratory times this weekend, especially for those of you who celebrate the 4th, and even for those of you who don't. Hopefully we're getting some time off this weekend to just engage in activities that bring us joy. As usual, most of you here have, most have one major arcana in your spread. In Taurus, you are one of them. You have the 3 of Pentacles, collaboration, teamwork, mental fortitude, the ability to teach others, mentor others. You have a purpose, and it's like you can't not go toward it there with that arrow. The Temperance is coming in as major arcana number 14. We'll start with the 3 of Pentacles. You're a really hardworking person. I feel that you're the kind of energy to really bring about expansion, creation, development, community. So, if that resonates to you. It's like you have, you have your eye on how it is that you want to do things. Now with, pardon. My laptop, or my app had gotten stuck here, okay. Anyhow, the 3 of, someone had said this recently, what is it is it because of something, maybe Mercury retrograde upon us, or something that's, again, going to cause some technological things, and that was going on quite a bit earlier at work today, and even now, so anyway, just funny as I say that. Okay, we're still recording. Dang, Sam. One slight movement. He's ready for dinner. Oh yeah, we've got some time. Okay, this is showing off your talents. Okay, so that's coming in as the challenge. So maybe there's some type of community or growth or expansion. You're wanting to showcase your talents, but why is that a challenge? In some way, with the Temperance coming in the reverse. Again, major arcana, this is 14. Something to do here with a negotiation, guys. So maybe something to do with an offer or a partnership, or some type of a vendor that you were going to work with, but I feel like if this is like the first, say it is a vendor that you've reached out for or even spoke to, don't feel like, I know I wanted to say there's more fish in the sea, and I said more fish in the sea earlier, I think to my brother. And yes, there's only one fish in this bowl. However, it's like, just, see what's out there, and the cat's tasting the water. So just doesn't mean you have to drink the whole bowl, but that's, like I say, get a quote, have a conversation, however that looks. 14. So, my personal favorite number. I have my own reason for it, but it was back when I was a young girl, maybe middle school, maybe more so middle school. And it became a favorite number of mine. So that could be significance here for some of you as well. Also the number 3. Perhaps March 14th. But however it is that you want to move forward is imbalanced, okay? So the Temperance card essentially invites you to consider what aspects of your life are out of balance, what actions may feel too fast, too impulsive. Sometimes it's best to dip a toe before you dive in. All right, everyone? Taurus, I wish you well. And next we have Gemini. Welcome, Gemini. And happy Thursday. Wishing everyone a good weekend ahead. All right, let's get into this here. So you're coming in with 2 powerful energies, in my opinion. We have the Ace of Cups in the reverse, which this literally has come out like the past 3 days in a row, 2 days in a row, something to that effect, but multiple times. So the Ace of Cups in the reverse, there's something here about like there's something about not quite being in the flow right now. Maybe you're feeling extra exhausted. Again, I'm also getting a call to ground here. Just here with what are those, lilies or water lilies? But with it just being in the reverse, it's like, try to get out in nature, maybe go by the water, or just, whatever resonates to you. And I know that while it looks like the cat is inside on carpet, even, the rug looks like grass. And please excuse my cat, Sammy. He's definitely ready for dinner, but he's good 45 minutes away, so. So that's coming in as the challenge, while the King of Pentacles is coming in as your advice, okay? This can speak to love, this can speak to fertility and even beginnings. So this is coming in as your challenge. So perhaps a love connection is not going as you would so hope. Perhaps your fertility endeavors have not been going as you so hope, or as you had so hoped. Because there's a gentleness that I'm getting right now from this card. That you would, if you were not already, would be a kind mother. With the King of Pentacles coming in here, this is coming in as your advice. You have a lot of prosperity ahead of you, even though you can't fully see it right now, or aka you can't, the cat can't fit its face through the through the tuna jar right now. Okay, the card is called Tuna Time. So you don't see what all is there for you. So whatever you're going through right now, I truly feel that when I said here about this calm mother energy, really what I hope I didn't just lose it because of this crazy cat here. Oh, it's an energy of peace. It's energy. It's like an energy of peace and protection. So I hope that resonates with you guys. If you feel that sense of and I just now noticed, look at this, the same hues of green, like that calming, just nurturing, abundant, fruitful, safe, prosperous energy. Like a like an energy, like a energetic security blanket. And with that, I will leave you, Gemini. Be well and happy 4th. All right, water signs, Cancers. Welcome. Coming in hot with one major arcana, the Fool, and the Ace of Wands. Now, anyway, all right, so let's start off with the Ace of Wands. This is coming in as your challenge. So it's as if there's something that you're trying to essentially start, but you can't quite, you haven't, you know what I mean? It's like, well, you haven't quite gotten a hold on something here, okay? But as I said, this does speak to beginning. So this could be, I mean, that is coming in as a challenge, is that something needs to start here, or almost like, I don't know, you know, take it as it resonates, like you need to get a grip on something, perhaps. And with the Fool coming in here as, you know, the first card in the major arcana, this speaks to risks. This also speaks to beginning. So both of these cards do speak to beginning. So there's something here, guys, that, you know, I definitely feel that you need to start. So that's going to resonate differently to every one of you. However, very importantly here, it has something to do with creativity, okay? The Suit of Wands symbolizes the element of fire. And it speaks to energy, travel, spirituality, inspiration, invention. Okay, so this is about ideas, innovation, achievement, ambitious spirit. So, you know, why is that the challenge? So the tarot, the cat tarot, would like to say that if you can't quite seem to reach your creative goals or find a new opportunity, don't give up. Okay, that's message number 1. Rethink your plans and take a fresh swipe at your dreams, this time with full commitment. Very beautiful, because I just kind of went through that energy where I had to recently I took a little bit of a step back and just planned a little bit more and put that into action, okay? So basically, you know, I kind of just did a fresh swipe and updated, you know, or reassessed the energies and how I was, how essentially I was, I don't want to say boosting my creativity, but how I was creating essentially and getting the message out there. So the plan, you know, as it says, number 1, definitely don't give up. But with the Fool here, there's something about, you know, tapping in. I feel like at this time it could really just behoove you to just do some stuff that brings you joy. You know, tap into that inner childhood happiness, whether that's doing something nostalgic, listening to nostalgic music, something to that effect. And maybe that can kind of help loosen you up. Another call for you guys to go out in nature if possible and ground, especially in the grass, you know, out in sunshine. With the Fool here in the reverse, I would just take a look at, how is it going to phrase this? Again, and it's like it said with commitment, but I was gonna say, like, if you're gonna go forth, go forth with conviction, guys. It's going back to that Emperor. So I cannot pick up the cards here. It goes back to the bottom of the deck here. It's really coming into your energies and tapping really into that inner power that you have not quite yet balanced, okay? But once you do balance it, things are going to really start to turn in your favor. But I think action, really taking action, again, it's not giving up, and obviously take action when you're ready. But certainly, when the time is right, you're going to want to, make that move and you know what I mean? Because in the original depiction of the Fool in the Rider-Waite-Smith decks, the Fool is often depicted at the end, or at the ledge of a cliff, and so but here in this in this depiction, the Fool is seated here very comfortably, what looks to be in, dare I say, loaf position. So when the time is right, again, definitely get back into what is calling you, guys. Don't let whatever this is hinder your progress. And again, ground. Okay, get out in nature if you can this weekend, for sure. All right, everyone, be well. Excellent. Now we are moving on to Leo. All right, excellent. Leos, welcome. Happy Thursday. Let's see what you're coming in with here. Alrighty. So your challenge is the Five of Cups in the reverse, followed by the Three of Swords in the reverse as well. And they're very, actually, look, I've never had cards do this, how they're sticking to each other like this. And I mean, this is what, at least well into my I've done 200 something ish videos, but and it's just like it was a static that I could feel. I was like, there it is briefly, but yeah, it's pretty much gone away. That you can kind of see, it's still kind of. So this is insane. It's just, sure, I understand, or whatever, static, friction, something's going on, but it's just, in all my readings, literally never has happened. And I've also used this deck before, because my friend initially got it, I want to say a month and a half ago-ish, and I was introduced to this deck through her. She was gifted that deck, the Cat Tarot deck, this deck, from another friend. So anyway, that's just pretty cool there. So and it's like, as I was looking, I was going to say, you can see that the imagery is very similar. The position of the cats and so definitely very strong, something to do with a very strong bond, connection, because that was really cool. All right, let me think on this. We're starting, your challenge is the Five of Cups in the reverse, along with the Three of Swords. So, what can I say, Leo? You guys have completely risen out above something, okay? And I think that sticking, that was whatever it is, this heartbreak, or I don't want to say heartbreak, this heartbreak that you have successfully come out of, because again, you're emotionally out of the grief, you're emotionally out of the sorrow at looking at the calendar to see how long, it's been like, okay, how long has it been since I've not talked to them? Awesome, 3 months, let's make it to 6. Like, okay, great, I made the 6-month mark. And then it just starts to be like, then that doesn't even matter. And then it's just like, okay, now we're good again. That, I'm telling you, that the way those cards were sticking each other, that's whoever you were in a connection with, they have absolutely, like, they, you know what I mean, are trying to hold on to you essentially for dear life, okay? But you're gone. You're like just like they're thinking about what you're thinking about, and you're not even thinking about what they're thinking about. The 3 of Swords, I said, speaks to heartbreak. That's in the reverse as well. Again, you basically chewed it up and spit it back out. The whole thing, the whole relationship, the whole deal, it's done. You may have traveled to see this person. They may have traveled to see you. This could be long distance. So it looks like it's onward and upward from here on out. Healing is close at hand. Get out in the world for a little fresh air and a change of perspective. Pick up the pieces and reemerge. It's a good time to start a new project or even a relationship. So take it as it resonates, guys. 3 of Swords in the reverse. You're in the energies already of forgiveness, healing, and even a little optimism. You're very resilient, and while the pain may not be fully absent, it hasn't been avoided. But feelings have been shared, and it's possible for some of you that reconciliation could be on the horizon. But again, that's for some of you, okay? So just take that as it resonates in here. All right, Leo? But your strength is definitely shining through in this one, so. And there's definitely something here about the month of May could be significant. And I would definitely, if it so resonates, I would definitely wear some red this weekend. All right, Leo. Beautiful reading. Good luck. And we're going to move on to Virgo. Welcome, Virgo. You're starting your challenge with the moon in the reverse. So do you think you're coming out of the moon energy and yet you're still in the moon energy? It's like in those movies where you wake up from a scary dream, but then like you're still in the dream. I hope I said that right. Very interesting. Major Arcana number 18. Yes. So it's like you're starting to see things clearly, or are you? I don't know why I keep getting this kind of I think you need to somehow, have you been letting your emotions be your guide? Have you been tapping into that intuition? But really it's into the emotions. Have you been feeling whatever needs to be felt here? So that, because that's coming in as the challenge. And something with this cat's gaze here in the Page of Pentacles. You know, something... This could have to do with, you know, maybe you're perhaps unsure of an offer that was presented to you, but with the Page of Pentacles, you know, that to me is a very grounded offer or a very dependable offer, even. The moon waxes and wanes, as do fear, confusion, and unhappiness. If no moon shines tonight, remember that it will again soon, and the sun will rise in just a few hours. Okay, with that sun catcher pentacle there. So it's like you're maybe feeling a little lost in the dark about something here. You're still unsure, still unclear. Or maybe you feel like you're clear and then you're not clear and then you're clear. So something like that. That's like that energy I picked up on. It was almost like a pattern or a loop. So I do feel with the Page of Pentacles here, it's like if you're simply unsure about a situation or how to move forward, to just take your time. But as I said, you know, this is Earth energy, okay, coming in for Virgo, Earth signs. The Page of Pentacles needs you to take a good hard look at your future. This is about seeing beyond the tree and the outstretched hand in front of you. A good plan and a strong start guarantee success. So let your light shine. Let your light shine right now. And you may be trying, again, like I said, maybe trying to shine your light, and then it's like it dims again, and then you're, you know, so just go forth, guys. Let your light shine bright, okay? And that's really indicative there of that sun catcher. All right, Virgo, happy 4th, and I'll see you guys in the next reading. Like I mentioned earlier, I will be breaking the Zodiac readings up into weekly by elemental sign. So I'll be doing week 1 fire, so that'll include you guys, and then I'll do week 2, you know, so on and so forth, and then that way I can give a little bit more, get it obviously more in depth. All right, welcome Libra. All right, so your challenge is coming in as the Lovers, Major Arcana number 5, so that could be of significance to you. This really is about unity, balance, and ultimately decisions. Sorry, I said 5. Okay, I thought I was talking, but then my mind was like, elsewhere because I was like, something's wrong. Excuse me, Major Arcana number 6, my apologies. So again, so 6 could be of importance to you. But this card, of course, besides speaking to love, is ultimately about decisions and choices. So that's coming in as your challenge card, okay? So there's a decision here. And I think ultimately, as you can see here, also, guys, I'm going to, another call for majority of the collective here in the signs is to get out in nature and ground, okay? So I want to start off and let you guys know that. Get out you can this weekend, you know, the sun, the grass, by water, whatever resonates to you. The Two of Wands is about making plans. So again, there's something here about a decision, but you need to, I mean, your advice is ultimately that you need to start making plans toward this decision, whatever that, you know, however that resonates to you guys. Let's see if we can get a little bit more here. Okay, like the Two of Swords here, that's awesome, wants to come out. So you feel perhaps right now like you're at a stalemate, obviously. Okay, you're a stalemate with this decision. Okay, the Magician, Major Arcana number 1. So ultimately, you know, it is a card of manifesting, but ultimately of action and ambition. So guys, and you know, number 1, you need to make a plan, okay, whatever, however that resonates to you. And then secondly, you need to start taking, you know, you need to take some type of aligned action here. And I do really think, yes, of course, that getting out in nature will definitely help. Eleven energy, very prominent here as well. You know, there's something definitely, you know, something's a little bit out of balance here, okay, with the Magician coming in the reverse. In this card, you know, all the aces are here in the corner here. So the Ace of Wands, Swords, Cups, and the Ace of Pentacles. So there's something here, you know, your alchemization needs work, right, in some form or fashion. So just, you know, you're gonna have to take that as it resonates. But ultimately, whatever the decision is, guys, I mean, I know it's easier said than done, but just, it's like recenter yourselves, okay? Take a step back. Again, I think really grounding in nature, if you can find a way to do so this weekend, would really help the situation. And just bring you clarity, like, especially if you can even find time to, like, just go out and, like, do some stretching, meditate, you know, whatever it is. Just sit there and just listen, you know what I mean, to this, like, to the sounds of the water, the sounds of the air. Just lay out in the sun and, you know, on a sun towel and, like, cozy up. And I think when you're in that cozy state, that meditative state, that's when, like, these brilliant images are going to start popping in. You know, that's, again, you know, when you're really in meditation and you can clear your mind and just, like, you're focused on something else, like, again, the sound of the waves or the sound of whatever it is, the warmth of the sun or the feeling of the sun warming your skin, you're going to start having those really great ideas popping into your head, and all of a sudden you're going to, like, it's going to, you know what I mean, things are going to kind of start to click. And then take note of that, you know, and move forward with that. So again, number 1, making plans, and then number 2, taking aligned action. All right, Virgo, be well. Libra, welcome, Libra. All right, my friends, we're starting off with the 7 of Wands, followed by the Queen of Pentacles. So starting with the 7 of Wands here, This is about, this really is about like advocacy and standing strong at this time and like letting go of what no longer serves. You can see this cat's like, you know what I mean? Like just, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, how do you want to say it? But like knocking down, you know, whatever no longer serves him or her. But that's coming in as the challenge. So I think you're looking at what's no longer serving you and you haven't quite yet pushed it off the ledge. That's what I was trying to say earlier. You haven't necessarily let go of it yet. You've let go of things in the past. You may be letting go of other things currently at the moment, but there is something here that you perhaps, you know, I mean, you have to just understand, you know, you have to like reflect on whether it's, whatever the situation is crossing a boundary or not. We then have the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. A card of generosity, very generous energies. But you're not feeling very generous at this time. And the reason you're not feeling generous at this time, or like you can give to others, is because you're not giving to yourself at this time. Rest assured that your position on this high precipice gives you the distinct advantage. Stand your ground and you'll have no trouble batting them over the edge. You have the upper paw. Rest assured that you are in full control. Okay, so once you essentially it's just stand your ground, guys. Okay, that really is the challenge, but stand your ground. And when you advocate for yourself, that, you know, you're going to re-kickstart that generosity and in that, essentially your intuition. Because right now that I feel like there's an imbalance of some sort within, and it's almost like you're peering into, I want to say nothingness, but like, I mean, like, what, it's almost like, what are you looking at here? Upside down, the Queen isn't happy. All her good traits seem reversed. The rewards are not materializing, but your message is to start taking care of yourself, as well as to change your perspective, and things will get better. So there's something there about standing strong, standing your ground, and changing your perspective. All right, Libra, I wish you well. Happy 4th. And we're going to move on to Scorpio. Welcome, Scorpio. All right, what do you guys have going on here? I'm getting very like inquisitive energy. You guys are in deep thought about something right now. But very deep thought. We're coming in as, your challenge is the 3 of Wands, followed by the Ace of Swords. Okay. I'm perhaps picking up on restless energy here. This card can speak to travel. I'm just now noticing the wallpaper. I'm getting like remote controls almost. So I feel like you're getting a little bit antsy. It's the challenge essentially right now. But I feel like you want to change of scenery. Perhaps you guys are thinking also about like changing the way you look, or like just kind of, or you know, whether that's just like trimming your nails, new nail color, you know, hair, clothes, whatever the situation is, something along those lines. But you know, as you're sitting here, because I said in the beginning, it's like you guys are not not quite mesmerized, but it's almost like deep thought, right? But the Three of Wands, at the confluence of inner balance and our outward connections to the world, the Three of Wands promises something new on the horizon. Sometimes we can see everything wonderful that is right in front of us, but sometimes we have to turn around to shift our perspective, aka the cat who has its back turned to the new toy that was brought home. With concentration and focus, the big picture shifts more clearly into view and growth, and good fortune are within grasp. The triangles on the wallpaper suggest the sails of ships, so they hint at new adventures on the horizon. But you guys can definitely sense this new, this energy of new, of anticipation. But it's not quite like you know what it is yet, but you're ready for it. Okay, and your advice is coming in as the Ace of Swords, which aces herald new beginnings, and in this case, the spawning of new ideas, thoughts, plans. You have tremendous mental clarity, independence, and power, and somehow you manage to be big-hearted on top of it all as well. Just be careful with how you wield that sword. Getting your claws trimmed is good for you, whether you like it or not. So be open to new ideas, new feelings and opinions, and they'll find you. So that is interesting. So really big on that shifting your perspective. Okay. With the cat's back that's turned. So shifting your perspective is going to be really good for you here. All right, Scorpio. And I'm also going to tell you guys to also go out and ground in nature. You guys may be really big homebodies here. And again, I did intuitively pick up on like a remote or like maybe playing games, something to that effect. The cat's like, just watching too much TV at the time, if you will. Doesn't even know there's a new toy that got, that mom brought home today. And, but his brother over here is having fun. So I'm picking up on your energy in both the, all the characters, if you will. But it's just, you guys, Scorpio, you guys are very highly intelligent here. Let's see if we can get any more info on what you might need to change your perspective about. I don't know, your gratitude, your hope, you need to change your perspective, even like how you pour into your own cup. Maybe you don't pour into your own cup enough, which is why I said in the beginning it was like a call to, like, maybe you guys have been wanting to, again, just get a manicure or groom yourself in some way, or you know that you need to but haven't. So some of you got a call from the Cat Tarot deck on that one. But yeah, it's like I think you need to start really pouring into yourselves here, guys. And maybe that, I don't know, your way isn't always the best way, and if that resonates. The Knight of Pentacles, this does speak to responsibility, working hard, even being practical, but in some way so maybe you need to change your perspective about the way you're working towards something. Again, something to do with, what can I say, guys? It's the way you're approaching something or trying to get across, or It's like you know, I don't know, it's like you want to get from there to there, from point A to B, but I'm like, if I need to go save someone, I'm ready, but definitely, you need to change your perspective. Look at the cat here, how they're, you know, she's looking into the cup of water. Let's see what the Knight of Pentacles wants to say in the reverse. It's like you feel like you can't quite get your pause on what you want. If you're currently unhappy, you can change course, provided you understand that everything won't be sorted out overnight, but reconsider your approach and be prepared to follow through. All right, Scorpio, I will leave you with those messages. Have a happy 4th. Moving on, we have Sagittarius. Welcome, Sag. Capricorn, welcome. We have the Chariot coming in as your challenge, followed by the Page of Cups. So I feel like you're moving perhaps very quickly into your emotions at this time. The Chariot is coming in as Major Arcana number 4. Oh, excuse me, 7. My apologies. So you're determined, okay? You're determined to move forward on something here, but it's coming in as the challenge. It's also, excuse me, my card, you know, of control, if you will, or having a semblance of, you know, like how much control do you have over your Chariot, which you do have control over your Chariot, but it is coming in the reverse. So maybe you're heading towards something like you have the progress and determination, or perhaps you don't necessarily yet know where you're going. The page, we are then clarified by the Page of Cups. It really, you know, the Page of Cups to me is a card of fun and socializing. I would also say it'd be a good time for you guys to get out and ground in nature this weekend, kind of get your head out of the toilet bowl and, you know, really just kind of go out there and again, have some fun and socialize, okay? So that's coming in as your advice there. For the Chariot, very interestingly here, let's take a look. So it just goes back to that fun and socializing, guys, okay? The Chariot is a reminder to move bravely forward, and it may be time to find your wings again instead of eating them, okay, as depicted here in the upholstery. Please excuse the background. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely think we have either a new tenant or a new visitor, holiday visitor, but as usual, the page brings in a youthful perspective, but he is still waiting to take a good look at his reflection in order to understand his true feelings. As determined and studious as he may sometimes be, okay, along with the Chariot energies of determination, make no mistake, the Page is also fun and young at heart. Note the lily symbolizing the freshness and innocence of youth. He can relax and take the time to gaze deeply into his feelings and motives. This card is a sign that it's a good time to start a new creative endeavor, although it doesn't have to involve getting your head wet. So it's really, again, about doing things that bring you joy, having fun, socializing, and that will spur your energies to start new endeavors. All right, everyone. Be well. Capricorn, I wish you a happy 4th. And we're moving on to Aquarius. Welcome, Aquarius. You're coming in. Very lovely colors here. Lots of, again, message for you. Most of the collective received this is to really do your best to get out in nature this weekend and ground. You're starting with the Hanged Man as your challenge, Major Arcana number 12. This speaks to a period of standstill, a period of waiting, but that is coming in as your challenge. This is clarified then by the King of Swords, representing very, strong, like very strong-willed energies, okay? It's like the king knows what they want, but coming in the reverse here, also I'm getting 15 could be of importance to you, some of you. You just haven't made up your mind. You haven't necessarily willed something as yay or nay. And so you're kind of just, right now, essentially hanging in the balance a little bit. Going back to getting out and grounding in nature, I do think that would behoove many of you to get some clarity. Because, although it looks, this card portrays, it looks like doom and danger, this card isn't the disaster that it appears to be. Your problems are of your own making and may not even be problems at all. You climbed up the tree, you'll be able to climb down. In the meantime, patience and a new perspective will serve you well. And that's been that's going to have to pretty much be in the title, but a new perspective. That's almost a resonating message across all the zodiacs, okay? Upside down, the King of Swords reflects a loss of self-control and mental discipline, which is leading to dysfunction and chaos. Not just sarcastic and critical, this king can be downright sadistic. All right, my friends, so, big call there about a change of perspective and reflection. And that's why I keep saying there's something here about just truly getting out in nature, guys. I think that's gonna get you to get some new energy, some new experience wind energy, right? Air energy, water energy, however that looks to you. Maybe fire energy, building a fire, or just being out in the sun. The warmth of the sun. Okay. I wish you well, Aquarius, and we are moving on to Pisces. Hi, Pisces, welcome. All right. I feel like you guys have a lot of energy, a lot of things going on at this time. We're here with the Two of Pentacles, so you also as a zodiac have a decision, a choice that needs to be made here. I'm definitely getting 2, so the energy of 222, or the angel number 222, excuse me. And I feel like you have your eye on the prize, but you wonder if it will end up successfully for you. The Two of Pentacles, again, is about decisions, but it's coming in as a challenge. So there's clearly a challenging decision, and you're not sure, again, if it's going to necessarily end successfully in your favor or not. But the Two of Pentacles, it represents a looming choice and perhaps even conflicting distractions. Okay, also seen here in the Six of Wands. But the tides are changing, okay, and you have some decisions to make, likely around getting your paws on the possessions you crave. The infinity shape of the green ribbon suggests that endless possibilities are abound. Still, this can be a time of stress, so keep your eye on the treats, which are at the cat's feet, and don't get too distracted. Seek balance and avoid pressure to rush into any decisions or agreements at this time. That is then clarified by the Six of Wands. So this is, again, to me, was speaking that whatever it is that you're pursuing, you know, you may have a few doubts about here in some way. But, as represented here in the Six of Wands, your lack of self-confidence may be due to external factors. It could also be because of how much you've taken on. So, whatever the question is, whatever you're reaching for, whatever the answer, or the answer right now is no. Whatever it is that you're, or again, whatever this, I would say, whatever the decision is, this is your advice card right now, the answer is no. Because this indicates that delays, setbacks, and even bad luck may lie ahead. So actually, yeah, very powerful messages here, guys. So let me just reread that again here. Because we were talking about that you don't, whatever this is may not end successfully. So yes, your lack of self-control, whether it's due to external factors or because of how much you've taken on. But whatever you're reaching for right now, the answer is no. And that's why it said to focus on the treats right now. And it is very interesting because in the Cat Tarot deck, the pentacles, even though you see the classic pentacle symbolism, the pentacles are represented by treats. So it's actually, if these weren't even here, this would still be, indicate the Two of Pentacles. So I feel like it's like something here, your challenge is like, you're not focused on where you need to be focused, or maybe you're focused on external influences right now or energies, and not focusing on what you have, maybe on what you have now, or so take that as it resonates, friends. I wish you well, Pisces, and a happy 4th, and I'll see everyone soon. Bye.